Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another review on the Robes 08 channel. I am your host, Mark, the Fragrance Guru, and I just want to say a nice hello to all my lady subscribers out there, and the men subscribers if they want to watch this video. Welcome to the initial launch of the women's fragrance reviews on the Robes 08 channel. Today, I decided to go with, of course, one of my wife's fragrances, this one from the house of Paco Rabanne, and the top seller of the brand, Lady Million. Now, let's get into it. Now, first and foremost, Paco Rabanne, as a fragrance house, has always been a house in the men's game or the women's game to be a little avant-garde with their fragrances. You know, they're a little off to the side, a little different, a little crazy sometimes. And with Lady Million, I really felt like Paco Rabanne, even with 1 million, decided to dip his toe into the commercial game. This is, of course, in the women's side of things. We know that the women's game is plastered with fruity florals. Those are the name of the game in the women's game. And Paco Rabanne decided, okay, that's it. I'm getting a top seller. I'm going to do it with this one. Let's go fruity floral. Now, this one's actually a perfect complement to the original launch, of course, in the men's game called 1 million for men. They both work well, very well together as a pair. So if you wish to do so, let's say the man in your life is wearing 1 million, you like that scent, take a look at Lady Million. These two work together very well as a pair. Now, you might choke out everybody together because they're both bombs on your skin, but hey, you want to do it as a group, do it as a group. Now, Lady Million hit the shelf back in 2010, a few years later, after of course the huge hit of 1 million in the men's section. The Pet Fermier behind this, we have a 3-headed monster. Now, these Pet Fermiers are basically, if I had an all-star team, these three might be actually on that all-star team as far as noses behind the game, just because they're absolutely crazy. Anne Flippo, great nose. Beatrice Piquet, Dominique Rapillon, all three of these ladies, whew, they've done some gems, some classics, and of course some modern masterpieces. So you're thinking, you know, this is a great combination of noses to make a fragrance. It's got to be great. So guys, of course, let's get into the presentation of Lady Million. Now let's discuss bottle sizes, pricing. Lady Million comes in, first and foremost, a little 10 milliliter rollerball. Very, actually a good seller by Paco Rabanne. A lot of women like this 10 milliliter rollerball. It kind of looks like a pen. Really a good seller for them. Of course, 1 ounce bottle, 1.7 ounce, which is this guy right here. 2.7 ounce, which is the big bottle. This is an EDP concentration, eau de parfum. Pricing, you're going to be looking at around $30 to $100 American, so really varies a lot. It's been on the market today for a while, so you can probably find this at your discounter, of course. There's also an eau de toilette version. It's a much thinner fragrance than this one right here, and there's an absolutely gold version also of this fragrance, so there's a couple flankers of it. So let's take a look at the presentation, the bottle in the box, and this is the box it comes in. Lady Million, Paco Rabanne, 50 mils. Not much information. You got some on the bottom here and some on the back, but standard kind of a box look for Lady Million. Now, the bottle itself is heavy. It's supposed to remind, of course, the ladies of a diamond, basically a gold diamond. That could be a lot of tackiness there for some women out there, but I think it's not bad. You have to set it up on its side here. It can't be like this. It has to be on its side like this. Alright, so as you can see, of course, Lady Million engraved on the sprayer itself. This is a sprayer, and the juice is inside here, the gold juice. And let's spray this fragrance a little bit here. Sprayer, look at this. Sometimes it dribbles, sometimes it gives you a good mist. So, not bad as far as the sprayer, not the best. So let's get into the review of Lady Million. Now let's take a look at the notes. Let's go split screen. Let's see all the notes in Lady Million right beside me here. And as you can see, a full-bodied fragrance. A lot of notes here. We got a lot of florals, and of course we got some sweet notes here, some honey, some amber, and we got the florals, neroli, orange flower, jasmine, gardenia. Major notes to my nose. The first thing in the introduction, raspberry. We got that fruitiness to the fragrance, sweetness. We got the honey for the sweetness, and of course lots of florals. Orange flower. This fragrance is built on the orange flower, just like the 1 million counterpart for men is built on the blood orange. Same thing. And of course there's lots of neroli in Lady Million. So let's delve into the fragrance. Now let's delve into the introduction of Lady Million. I just sprayed my little test paper here. Let's sniff it out. And really the introduction, not bad. Definitely a bomb. I can almost taste the fragrance in my mouth, and I just sprayed it just like 20 seconds ago before I put the camera on. Really potent stuff. First thing that hits my nose is the fruitiness in this fragrance. You know, it's a nice, sweet, fruity raspberry note. Can't miss. It's in the forefront of Lady Million, actually. It can't be missed. It's not the most fruity fragrance in the women's game. You're going to see once this dries down, it loses a little bit of that fruitiness, and there's a lot of women's fragrances that's just fruity overload. This fragrance has just that fruity top note. And the raspberry is really nice. I like it. It's a solid fruity note that actually meshes with the rest of the fragrance together. So it's not really going to dominate this fragrance, but it's a good bonding to the fragrance. I mean, it really is in the forefront of this introduction. You can't miss it. It's a good addition. Now Lady Million off the top comes off loud. Really an outspoken fragrance that will take down a few people if you wear it wrong by putting on too many sprays. This is one of those fragrances that I think it matches a personality. You know, a lot of people that are outspoken, really loud, that they want attention. This is the kind of fragrance that you want to get. You want to get attention, you will. Really loud, but again, too many sprays, you're going to choke people out. This intro has, of course, some freshness to it with, of course, the fruits, the florals, the white florals, but also a good amount of thickness coming from, of course, the base that makes this fragrance more of a cool weather fragrance than a warm weather fragrance. I know a lot of fruity fragrances or florals really are thin and can be worn any season. I really see Lady Million as more of a cool weather fragrance. It kind of warms you up on your skin, and it has a lot of thickness to it. Backing the raspberries, the sweet white florals that will hammer through until the end of the fragrance. The white florals are your major players in this fragrance, mostly in the dry down, and of course that orange flower coming through. These white florals will be the backbone. The orange flower in Lady Million really brings out the same aspect that I received when I smelt 1 million for men, since 1 million has that blood orange note. So they do balance each other really well, as you can wear them as a pair, like I said in the introduction. There's a good amount of sweetness here, of course, with the honey, amber, jasmine. All those notes are going to give you some sweetness, and they do. There is some sweetness. It's not a candied sweetness. There's a lot of these fragrances in the women's game that is a candied, almost a fruity candied fragrance. This one, you get that, but not that much. There's a lot more going on with this fragrance. Overall, sometimes I felt that this fragrance was overly busy and loud, especially in the introduction, that could turn some women off of purchasing this fragrance. Really, I could tell that this is built for a certain personality. So this is going to be a love or hate type of fragrance. The major note that really impressed me in this introduction had to be the raspberry. I love it. It's dying down, but it's still there. And it's a great addition to this introduction. Now let's go into the dry down of Lady Million. Once you wear it for a few hours, the dry down starts peeking through. The dry down to Lady Million is really its shining factor. I really liked the dry down more than the actual introduction, just because it's really busy and loud in the introduction. Dry down's really nice. The fragrance really tones down, opens up. It does leave the great raspberry note in the background, unfortunately. But this opens up the main lane for, of course, those white florals that really give you the feminine vibe of the fragrance. So looking at those notes, I almost felt like this could be worn by a man. If you take a look at the notes, there's a lot of these notes that are in men's fragrance. But now that I've smelt it, of course, on my wife, and I've smelt it a few times for testing, I could tell right now that this fragrance mostly is best suited for only women. So really not a unisex fragrance. This is a woman's only fragrance. To me, again, you can wear whatever you want, but I feel like this is more geared on the women's side of things. The honey here, which I felt was the one note in this dry down that impressed me. So the two major notes that impressed me, the raspberry up top, the honey down bottom. Really nice. It did really a great job giving most of the synthetic notes in this fragrance, and there's a lot of synthetic notes in here that can attack your nose a little bit too much. But I felt like that honey really gave it an authentic honeyed sweetness to the fragrance, which I really love honey in fragrances, especially when it's like that honeyed sweetness, not really to candy-like. The honey sweetness kind of syrupy. This has it. Really nice. Beautiful. The orange flower, the jasmine, neroli are the major factors in this mid, which of course the sweet notes of course of amber, which smells more like vanilla than anything else, the honey, and the backbone of patchouli, which is really faint on skin. I didn't feel like the patchouli really came out too much. It's really faint, but it kept this fragrance from being too thin. It warms things up a little bit and makes it more of a fall and winter fragrance than of course, summery or spring fragrance. So guys, let's get into my final take of Lady Million. Now let's get into my final take on Lady Million. Let's sniff it up a little bit more. Not bad. Now, Lady Million is a top seller all across the world. It's just like its men's counterpart. It's selling like hotcakes. It can also be a little too much for some. You know, it's really loud. Some might actually call it obnoxious just because it really is a fragrance that will let you know that you're in the building, especially if you've worn too much of it. It's just like 1 Million. It does the same thing. And with fragrances that sell this much, if you want to be unique, this might not be the fragrance for you. It really is attacking, first of all, a genre in women's fragrances that's been oversaturated, fruity florals. And secondly, it's a top seller across the world. So depending which country you're in, which city you're in, my city, Canada, of course my country, Canada, the city that I'm in, this one is a dime a dozen. It's a top seller here. You can smell it on a lot of women. Now it looks like Paco Rabanne basically used the same type of formula that we saw in 1 Million in the men's section that he did with his newest released in the Million version, the women's version. Of course, he wanted something, basically, he wanted something to stand out, to sell, and something that will be a balm on the skin. He really did an excellent job of doing that. It's a familiar DNA, and he kind of gave it his own twist. So it's not your run-of-the-mill fruity floral, but it's a close comparison. It kind of made it his own thing. He made sure that it was a balm on skin and a compliment getter, and that's what this is. In the woman's game, this is just another fruity floral, but a solid one for a designer. It does not stray away much from the usual fruity floral that you're going to see in Macy's. Now you're going to get the same kind of people that you get with, of course, Paco Rabanne's 1 Million in the men's section that turn their nose up to the actual packaging. They won't smell this fragrance just because they don't like the gold diamond. They just think it looks tacky. They're not going to give it a try. Same thing in the men's section, the gold bullion, the 1 Million. Some people just don't like the bottle. They're not even going to give it a chance. Same thing with, of course, the introduction, the overly loud introduction. Same thing with 1 Million, same thing with this. They're going to first smell the first 5 minutes and they're going to walk away. They're like, ah, same thing, go away. Same thing. Don't let that deter you. And if you are shopping around and you might say, I don't like the bottle, it might be tacky to you, but I've purchased tacky bottles with scents that I absolutely love. So again, don't judge a fragrance on its packaging. I've done that mistake back in the 90s, never done it again. I found a lot of gems just because of the bottle. I'm not going to, if you want to be like that, that's fine, but it's just the bottle on, you know, my dresser. That's it, that's all it is. So just to let you guys know. Now, why would you hate this fragrance? Now, there's a few things, of course, with a fragrance like this that's kind of out there. There's going to be reasons why you wouldn't like this. First and foremost, too sweet. Now, it's not overly sweet. I've smelt a lot of fragrances that are hugely sweet in the women's game, but it has some sweetness to it, and some women don't like that. It's too sweet. Second thing I could see why you would hate it, generic. A lot of fragrance heads in the women's section, just like in the men's section, will find this just like a dime a dozen. You know, if you've smelt over 100 fragrances, you're going to feel like this is not for me. Too many people wear it, it's too popular, it's too bubblegummy, it's too, you know, it's too like almost everything else out there. So too generic, too heavy. It is one of those fragrances that has some balls to it, as I like to say, too heavy, and of course synthetic to a fault perhaps. It has overly synthetic notes in it, yes, and that could ruffle your nose a little bit. Now group, this is a floral fruity fragrance. Recommended age. I really think this is built for anybody. in the women's game. Depending on taste, it depends on your taste, to be honest. I think Paco Rabanne was gearing this for 20 to like 39, that kind of group. You know, the main bulk of perfume shoppers, 20 to the 39. That was really what this was geared for, but I think teenagers can wear this because it does have that sweetness to it, and it's a balm on your skin, and I think a lot of women that are teens will love this fragrance. They love probably the design too. They think it's fancy, and then of course there's older women that can wear it. I really think any age group can really wear this fragrance. Now, how many sprays you can wear? A little goes a long way with Lady Million. Same thing I told the boys with the 1 million review. 2 to 3 sprays, that's it. Don't be one of those that wears 6 to 8 sprays of Lady Million and walk into the office. You know what you're doing? You're walking into the office and you're announcing to everybody you're there. Yeah, you're going to get a couple compliments of guys that want to get your attention, but other than that, you might get some negative attention too. Bottles. Does anything remind me of Lady Million? Now, I'm fairly new to the women's game. You know, I've tested out a couple. I really think the fragrance that reminds me of this a little bit is Muglier's Alien. Now, my wife has that bottle, and that's why I'm kind of familiar with both fragrances. The nose behind Alien is Rapillon, which of course was a nose behind this. That fragrance also has white florals, kind of sweet. Same thing here. This is of course a little more going on with it, a little more easy to wear as far as the public goes. There's going to be a lot more lovers of this fragrance than Alien. Alien's off the wall kind of a little bit here. Best time to wear Lady Million. Best time would have to be a nighttime fragrance. This is cool weather approved, nighttime, going out, going on a date, going clubbing. You can wear it casually. I really think this is the type of fragrance, you know, going out with the girls type of thing. This is just a nighttime fragrance. I know a lot of girls that wear this at work. I don't know. I think it's a little too thick, projects way too much, and there's too many women out there that wear too much of this fragrance. 2 to 3 sprays is a little much even for the workforce, especially in your cubicle and you're just radiating. So this is more of a nighttime cool weather fragrance. Compliment factor. Now, that's not from me. Of course, I give my wife compliments when she smells great. But as far as what she told me, compliment factor is mid to high with this one. This is a compliment getter, really an attention getter. Now, attention getters like this, that are big, bold like this could be good or bad thing. You can get a lot of great compliments. People will smell you, but also on the same thing, on the same side of the coin, you'll get some bad ones. People are going to be like, oh, who put too much perfume on? This is one of those that could be like that. You don't want to be that person. My 2 cents on Lady Million. My wife wears this not as much as other women do. Some women wear this as a signature scent. That's all they wear all the time. My wife wears this from time to time. She likes it, but doesn't love it. I feel the same way. I feel the exact same way as my wife. I think this is one of those just night out fragrances that you wear from time to time. I think wearing this a little too much as a signature scent every day, all the time, is a little much. And I like it, but I don't love it. It seems like Paco was just throwing another card into the hat of course, the fruity floral game, and he did well. I gotta admit, he did well, but I don't think he did outstanding. I don't think this is a gem of a fragrance. So now let's get into my rating system. I'm gonna start rating Lady Million Projection. 9 bottles out of 10. High, just like the men's version. This thing radiates, it does its job, 9 out of 10. Longevity, 10. This can go from 6 to 10, almost 10 plus hours on skin. Yes, longevity is bonkers with Lady Million. Really, really good at 10. Versatility, it's gonna go down a little bit. It's gonna get 7 bottles out of 10. I really don't think, first of all, warm weather, hot, humid weather, don't do it. It's not the most versatile fragrance in the game. I think it's just a cool weather, nighttime fragrance. You can wear it almost signature scent wise if you're easy on the sprayer, but really versatility, 7. Overall smell didn't blow my socks off. I'm gonna give this a 7 bottles out of 10. Seasons, mostly fall, winter, spring nights too. You can wear it spring nights. Overall, I'm gonna give Lady Million, total score, it's not gonna do as well as 1 million, 8 bottles out of 10. A solid score for a fragrance. 8 out of 10, pretty good. And this goes to, of course, my signature buy, try, or pass on a fragrance. For all you ladies out there, the men out there that are looking for something for your woman, this is going to be a try. I really don't think, I think it's a good bang for your buck as far as, you know, how many sprays you have to wear. A big bottle of this is going to last you a lot, especially if you only do 2 sprays of wearing. I think that's a good quality of this fragrance, but there's a lot of also other things that you have to factor in that might be negative. So I think this is more of a try. You got to sniff it out and see if you like it. So hopefully you enjoyed my initial review on a woman's fragrance, Lady Million. Done. Thanks for watching, YouTube. Have a good day.